Welcome to the America Today News channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our fact-driven reporting, breaking news, and in-depth analyses that cut through the noise. Don't forget to tap the bell icon for notifications so you never miss a story. Thank you for joining us. Let's dive into today's headline. On Tuesday, September 2, 2025, President Donald Trump delivered a blockbuster announcement from the Oval Office, surrounded by Alabama's congressional delegation, Vice President JD Vance, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The U.S. Space Command (SPACECOM) headquarters, currently housed in Colorado Springs, Colorado, will relocate to Huntsville, Alabama, reversing a decision by former President Joe Biden to keep it in the Centennial State. Trump didn't shy away from controversy, citing Colorado's mail-in voting system as a big factor in his decision, labeling it crooked, and suggesting it fosters dishonest elections. Huntsville, already known as Rocket City for its storied aerospace history, was pitched as the ideal home, with promises of economic booms and strengthened national security. This move has ignited a firestorm of debate, touching on military strategy, economic impacts, election integrity, and political motivations. Let's unpack the story, grounded in verified facts, historical context, stakeholder reactions, and expert insights, to give you a comprehensive view of this seismic shift. The announcement marks the latest twist in a years-long tug-of-war over Space Command's permanent home. Established in August 2019 during Trump's first term, SPACECOM is one of 11 unified combatant commands in the U.S. Department of Defense, tasked with overseeing military operations in space. This includes managing satellite-based navigation, troop communications, missile launch detection, and protecting U.S. and allied assets from threats in an increasingly contested domain. With adversaries like China and Russia advancing their own space capabilities, think hypersonic weapons and anti-satellite technology, SPACECOM's role is critical to national security. The decision on where to base its headquarters isn't just logistical, it's a high-stakes call with billions in economic impact and implications for military readiness. Trump's rationale for the move hinges on two main points: Huntsville's strategic fit and his distrust of Colorado's voting system. He framed Huntsville as a natural choice, noting its nickname, Rocket City, earned through decades of contributions to U.S. space programs. The city hosts NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, the Army's Redstone Arsenal, and the Space and Missile Defense Command, making it a hub for aerospace innovation. A 2022 Government Accountability Office (GAO) report backed this, naming Redstone Arsenal as the top pick among 6 finalist sites, citing $426 million in cost savings over Colorado due to cheaper construction and personnel expenses. Trump also claimed the relocation would create 30,000 jobs and attract hundreds of billions in investment, though some economists caution these figures may be optimistic projections. The more contentious part of Trump's reasoning was his attack on Colorado's mail-in voting. He argued that the state's system, which automatically sends ballots to all registered voters, invites fraud and was a major driver in his decision. "The problem I have with Colorado, one of the big problems, they do mail-in voting," he said. "When a state is for mail-in voting, that means they want dishonest elections." This echoes his long-standing narrative against mail-in ballots, which he's claimed, without evidence, cost him the 2020 election. Colorado's universal mail-in system, in place since 2013, allows voters to return ballots by mail, drop box, or in person, with about 92% opting for mail in the 2024 election, per the Colorado Secretary of State. The system uses robust safeguards like signature verification, barcode tracking, and post-election audits, earning praise for accessibility and security. Studies, including one from Stanford in 2020, show mail-in voting has no partisan bias, and fraud rates are vanishingly low, under 0.0003%, per the Brennan Center. Despite this, Trump's comments have resonated with his base, with some ex-posts amplifying the crooked elections claim. The backstory of Space Command's location is a tale of political ping-pong. In January 2021, days before leaving office, Trump announced Huntsville as the preferred site, following an Air Force review that ranked it highest for infrastructure, community support, and cost. Alabama, a deep red state that backed Trump in all 3 of his presidential runs, celebrated the decision. But when Biden took office, he halted the move, citing concerns about military readiness. In 2023, Biden made Colorado Springs the permanent headquarters, arguing that relocating would disrupt Spacecom, which had reached full operational capability in December 2023. His decision drew ire from Alabama lawmakers, who accused him of playing politics to favor a blue-leaning state. A Pentagon Inspector General report in April 2025 couldn't conclusively explain Biden's choice, noting that senior officials declined interviews, fueling Republican claims of cronyism. Fast forward to 2025, and Trump's reversal has flipped the script. Alabama's delegation, including Senators Tommy Tuberville and Katie Britt, was quick to cheer. Tuberville, who once suggested naming the headquarters the Donald J. Trump Space Command Center, called it a return to merit and integrity. Britt accused Biden of politicizing the decision, insisting Huntsville prioritizes the safety and security of Americans. The move is a boon for Huntsville, expected to bring 1,400 direct jobs initially, with ripple effects potentially creating thousands more. Mayor Tommy Battle estimated a 5-year transition, with contractors ready to break ground soon. The city's proximity to defense giants like Lockheed Martin and L3 Harris, plus its strategic location, 100 miles north of Birmingham and 110 miles south of Nashville, bolsters its case. Colorado, on the other hand, is up in arms. The state's entire congressional delegation, a rare bipartisan front, condemned the decision as a threat to national security and a waste of taxpayer dollars. Colorado Springs, home to 5 military bases and a robust aerospace sector, relies on Spacecom for 1,400 jobs and a $1 billion annual economic impact. The local chamber estimates defense and aerospace account for 40% of the city's economy, employing over 110,000 people. Governor Jared Polis called the move deeply disappointing, arguing it uproots military families and weakens readiness. Representatives like Lauren Boebert, a Trump ally, and Jeff Crank urged him to reconsider, citing a $2 billion relocation cost and disruptions at a time when space threats are escalating. Attorney General Phil Weiser is gearing up for a legal challenge, calling Trump's voting rationale legally suspect and a potential violation of federal rules requiring basing decisions to prioritize operational needs. The national security implications are a major flashpoint. Colorado lawmakers warn that moving Spacecom, now fully integrated with local infrastructure, could take 3 to 4 years and cost hundreds of millions. They argue this hands an advantage to adversaries, especially as China tests hypersonic missiles and Russia deploys anti-satellite weapons. A joint statement from the delegation said the move sets our space defense apparatus back years and risks American lives. Alabama counters that Huntsville's existing facilities, like Redstone's testing ranges, make it a superior long-term fit. Trump tied the relocation to his proposed Golden Dome missile defense system, modeled on Israel's Iron Dome, though details remain vague. Defense Secretary Hegseth, contradicting Trump's political framing, insisted the decision aligns with Pentagon assessments favoring Huntsville for strategic advantage. The voting controversy has sparked wider debate. Trump's claim that Colorado's system is crooked lacks evidence, as audits and court rulings have upheld its integrity. A 2021 Colorado election security report found error rates below 0.01%, with no instances of widespread fraud. Critics, including Senator Michael Bennet, called the rationale political retribution against a state that voted Democratic in recent elections. On X, opinions are split. Some users echo Trump's fraud concerns, while others mock the idea that voting methods justify moving a military command. The broader push to curb mail-in voting, which Trump reiterated for the 2026 midterms, could gain traction from this, though experts say it risks alienating voters in states with popular mail-in systems. Economically, the stakes are stark. Huntsville stands to gain prestige and investment, reinforcing its status as a tech hub. Colorado Springs faces job losses and a hit to its defense-driven economy, with local businesses bracing for impact. Some Space Command personnel may not relocate, forcing the Pentagon to recruit replacements, which Trump dismissed casually. If they don't want to move, we'll get somebody else. This has raised concerns about retaining specialized talent, as Colorado's aerospace workforce is deeply rooted. The Denver Metro Chamber warned of a ripple effect, potentially stunting growth in the state's $47 billion aerospace industry. Politically, the move fits a pattern. Recent X posts highlight Trump's aggressive use of federal authority, from deploying National Guard units for domestic operations to redrawing voting maps in Republican states. Critics see the Space Command decision as rewarding loyal red states while punishing blue ones, especially given Trump's nod to Alabama's electoral support. Supporters argue it corrects Biden's alleged politicization, pointing to the GOW's Huntsville recommendation. Either way, the decision has reignited accusations of using military assets as political pawns, a charge both sides have lobbed over the years. What happens next? Colorado's legal challenge could delay or derail the move, with Weiser's team likely to argue that Trump's voting rationale violates federal guidelines. Congressional pushback is another hurdle. Lawmakers could withhold funding or demand oversight. Logistically, the relocation is complex, requiring new facilities at Redstone Arsenal and a phased transfer of personnel. Alabama estimates 14 to 18 months for construction, but full integration could stretch longer. Meanwhile, the Pentagon's Space Command issued a statement on X, pledging to carry out the president's direction, though it offered no timeline. This story is a microcosm of larger tensions: election integrity, military strategy, and the intersection of politics and policy. For Alabama, it's a victory lap, promising jobs and clout. For Colorado, it's a call to fight, with livelihoods and national security at stake. Nationally, it's a flashpoint that could shape debates heading into 2026. As the dust settles, the move will test America's ability to balance defense priorities with political divides. Stay tuned to our channel for updates on this evolving story and more. Smash that subscribe button, join our community, and let's keep digging for the truth together. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.